Yeah.
I do have some good news, though.
Come on.
Kenny Pickett.
How about it?
How about Kenny P, huh?
How about it?
How about making your hometown of Pittsburgh proud? They were fired up to see him get in that game over the weekend.
I mean, and he delivered.
Look good, man.
Yeah, he delivered.
I mean, it's weird, though, because I thought his hands were too small, Brady, so I'm just trying to figure out why he was able to throw the football the way he was.
They said that his hands would be too small to hold on to NFL balls.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be too big for him.
So were they using, like, Nerf footballs on Saturday, or was that, like, how was he able to hold on to the ball?
They look like regulation size to me, Jonas.
Yeah. It's so
Looked
Kenny.
like it worked out for him.
He looked
He was cupping them balls and he was spinning them.
Trubisky.
My lover balls.
We're off and running. Trubisky looked pretty good in limited time. Mason Rudolph had a good drive. George Pickens, by the way. So he's just going to be the real deal. Brady, you called it. That I don't know who the defender was for Seattle that got knocked on his ass, but then somebody brought up a clip from Georgia where he did the same thing in a game at Georgia, and then the catch he made in the corner of the end zone from Mason Rudolph was fantastic. He looks like he's going to be the real deal. Pittsburgh got another wide receiver, so congratulations.
I'll go as far as saying I think he's got a shot for rookie or offensive rookie of the year. And it may be better than Pickett, which you might be thinking to yourself, hold on, how does that make sense? It's kind of like the Heisman, right? If the quarterback is playing well, and obviously the wide receiver is going to be playing well, the difference is Trubisky did look good in the beginning. Like they might let him start the first few games before this thing would ever get turned over to Kenny Pickett. So if that's the case, you have to think Pickett's going to be in there the entire time, getting targets, getting yards, getting production. But man, the Steelers once again did it again. Like they find these guys all the time in the draft, and that it seems like it's not even in the first round. Like they find them in the second, third, fourth, fifth round, whatever it is. Are they they might be the best team at drafting wide receivers ever at this point.
Why can certain organizations just do it and others can't? Like I don't
know. New England's asking themselves that. That's for sure.
Like I don't get it. Like why can some organizations? It could be. Is it just because there's consistency there, because you don't have a lot of turnover, because there's not, a new head coach every 3-4 years? Because it just seems like Pittsburgh always has a knack for finding these guys. Look, remember Mike Wallace left, and it was like, oh, man, they're really going to let Mike Wallace walk, and he got replaced. And then you had Antonio Brown, and then you had Juju Smith-Schuster's gone, and now they've got Pickens. It just seems like they just roll out wide receiver after wide receiver. Chase Claypool's there. And
Deontay Johnson. I mean,
don't forget about Tyler Vaughn's, Yeah.
Tyler Vaughn's.
Yeah.
Jeez.
How about it?
But I just...
You know where he's from, right?
Where's that?
Pasadena.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's not from Penn State. He's from Pasadena. Yeah.
Little Pasadena action.
Yep.
I don't know, man. Kenny Pickett looked fantastic, and I wanted to see just when he came in the game, and they were waiting for the second half to start, and once he got in, you just looked at that crowd, and they loved him. And I just was thinking to myself, I wonder if Ben Roethlisberger's watching this right now, what he feels. I wonder if he's got a red ass watching Kenny Pickett get the celebration he got.
He doesn't have a red ass.
You don't think so?
His bottom is not puffy.
Okay. All right.
He might be puffy that he's not playing anymore and probably thinks that he had at least 1 or 2 more good years left in him. But I don't think he's looking at him and feeling a certain type of way while he's at home. Or he probably didn't even watch the game. He's probably somewhere golfing barefoot.
By the way, 10-1, George Pickens 10-1 to win Rookie of the Year. So there's some an opportunity there.
Might want a little sprinkle. Sprinkle there,
Kenny Pickett is the favorite.
A little sprinkle.
Little bit.
So
a little bit.
Do you think at what point this year do you think we're going to see Kenny Pickett as a starting quarterback? Not because of injury, but at what point do you think Mike Tomlin pulls the trigger? Because he doesn't feel like somebody who's going to just make a quick decision to please the fan base. Is this going to be let him sit and we go next year, or are they going to be able to hold him back and keep it in the holster and not release him to that crowd, to that fan base, to that division, especially if they're in contention with who the hell knows what's going to happen with Cleveland? We don't know whether or not Cincinnati's going to bounce back, and Baltimore was riddled with injuries last year. Lamar Jackson still doesn't have a contract. We'll get to that later, but if Pittsburgh's winning, you can't just make the quarterback change. And so it feels like Pickett's going to ride this thing out for a little bit, barring injury.
Now, let the quarterback have it. You want it?
Yeah, sure. I mean, as you look through their schedule, I don't know. It's tough to tell. Like, I think if you lose back-to-back games, like they start off at Cincinnati, that could be a loss. Then they got to play New England at home. Could be a loss. New England's pretty good. Then you play at Cleveland, short week. No Deshaun Watson, we know that. We'll see what happens with that game. And then the Jets. Conceivably, they could be 1-3.
Yeah.
They could. I mean, I don't think they're going to lose all 4 of those. But if they're 1-3, Trubisky's not playing well, and they lose to a team like the Jets, which at that point they should have Zach Wilson back. Although we can get into that. He looked like, he didn't look very good anyway. But if you lose those, you start off 1-3, 0-4. I think it's a thought that, well, it's early enough in the season. If we make the change now, we feel like we have a shot of still being in it. I mean, you could maybe say, depending on how the first quarter of the season or the first 4 games goes, we could have an indication of how short that rope is or if Kenny Pickett gets a shot. But look, they put Mason Rudolph ahead of him already.
I was about to say, that would be the bigger question is, where does Mason Rudolph fit in all of this?
I don't think it's anywhere, I mean, I would find it hard to believe you draft a guy in the first round and you're going to keep 2 guys in front of him.
I mean, are they going to?
If it's a place that would do it, it would be Pittsburgh.
I'll be honest with you. If I'm the New York Jets right now, I'm looking for another guy. I'm not just rolling with Joe Flacco and Mike White. Like, I might make a move for Mason Rudolph. Like, I might say, hey, we still think Zach's the guy, but we need more depth in here. And this injury, he's getting surgery in LA. This injury is going to cost him to miss, we think, at least 4 weeks. If that's the case, well, I need to bring in more guys just in case Joe Flacco gets hurt. He's up there in age, hasn't played, very much. Or we don't want to put that ball in Mike White's hands the whole time. Even then, you still need a little more depth there. So I wouldn't be shocked if they didn't try to move, Mason Rudolph, because I think you got a couple guys right now, and usually teams only keep 2.
Yeah, that is true. But again, I wouldn't be surprised if they held off on putting Pickett in this year. I would not be shocked.
Are they going to play this game, though, where it's preseason and they make an announcement next week that now Kenny Pickett's moved up to second string? Like, he's just slowly climbed the charts.
It's possible. It's possible that they could do that. But, again, if you're looking at the history of the franchise, generally speaking, guys don't come right in and play. They give them a little bit of time. It's
Ben
possible.
played because Tommy Maddox got hurt.
Correct.
Yeah.
It's possible that times may have changed enough where this team may need his services enough where they, that caution goes to the wind or that tradition goes to the wind and they don't wait. I think that if they are a 1-3 team, you certainly have to think about what you're going to do, especially if it's because of your quarterback play. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I guess the more I think about it, you know what you're going to get with Mason Rudolph. That's for certain. He had his opportunity, and if you're looking at the trajectory of what the team could possibly be, I would only say, and with caution, if you throw him in at 1-3, then, what happens if it doesn't get any better? If it continues to slide once he gets in there.
You can't take him out.
Yeah, no. I mean,
can't take him out.
I think at that point you kind of know what you're getting, though, right?
It's just built for the future. If you're continuing to slide.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of know where things are going at that point.
But that would be Mike Tomlin. Keep in mind, this would be Mike Tomlin's first losing season as a head coach if they were to just let it ride. Like, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
It would be crazy in year 16.
Yeah.
15 years he's never had a losing season.
Yeah.
That is absurd.
By the way, has he been there longer than Cowher was there? I think at this point he has.
I think so, he has, yeah.
Jesus, man. I didn't realize it had been that long. But, yeah, it's going to be fun to see how that all plays out. And we get to see a little bit more Kenny Pickett in the preseason.